Hello, I'm Graham Fitch and I'm bringing you this video demonstration on the pedal from Steinway Hall in London, and this complements my article in issue 83 of Pianist magazine. The first demonstration I'm going to do is on direct pedaling. More about what that means in a minute, but let me introduce you first of all, in case you're wondering what this boom is doing inside the piano. It's what we call our damper cam. We're going to use it in subsequent videos, so watch this space for that. Now let me first of all talk about what the pedal does, and I'm talking about the right pedal. When pianists speak of the pedal, they mean the right pedal. So before I can do that, we need to just talk a little bit about dampers. Each note on the piano, apart from the high ones up here, has its own damper. Now a damper is simply a piece of felt that's connected to a piece of wood, and it sits normally on the string until I play a note on the piano. Now what happens there, a hammer comes up, hits the string, the damper raises and stays raised until such time as the note has disappeared, which is the case here, or until such time as I lift my finger. So when I lift my finger, the dampers drop down onto the strings and squash the sound. When I put the pedal down, what happens is the damper rail is lifted and all of the dampers are now on the up position. So when I play a chord or a note on the piano, and I can lift my fingers and the sound will continue until such time as I lift my foot. All right, now you can imagine the use that composers have found for this. Tchaikovsky, writing the B-flat minor piano concerto, decided to have all of this resonance in one pedal. One of the most famous openings of a piano concerto in the repertoire. So what happens when I do that? My pedal is fully down, I play this chord, the chord continues to resonate. When I play that one, now I've piled that resonance on the top of this one, and then further to the top. So the whole piano is now swimming in D-flat major. So what the pedal does is it controls the dampers. So instead of my fingers controlling the dampers, it's my foot, my right foot, that controls the dampers. Now let me just speak a little bit more about resonance, and I'm going to show you a little trick. Some of you might know this. What I'm going to do is play silently this chord. Now the dampers are lifted, but you won't hear any sound because I didn't play the notes. Now what I'm going to do is play an octave quite strongly beneath. And if you listen carefully, you will hear that octave resonating in that chord. Let me do that again. I'll play something a little bit beefier downstairs. Do you hear? I can do it the other way around. I can hold that octave downstairs and play strongly. And what I've got now is the ghosts of that chord reverberating on those strings. So it's not just a question of the damper holding the note on longer, which we use in legato pedaling, more about that in the next video, but it's to do with resonance. So if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing the Grieg concerto, and I have this wonderful A minor chord to begin, I'd be nuts if I didn't have my pedal down before I started to maximize the resonance. If I didn't do that, what we have is just those 8 notes sounding. Then I put the pedal down. I've lost that golden opportunity for the whole instrument to be resonating in A minor. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting to do that on a big Model D Steinway like that and just hear the instrument blossom. So if I would ask you first, if you are going to be playing a piece that begins with pedal, put the pedal down before you start to maximize that resonance. Let's look at one other example of where pianists often go wrong. A composer will, particularly a romantic composer, often lays out a red carpet of sound, of harmony, and then a singer comes in which is a Chopin Nocturne, the rather lovely and neglected, I think, C-sharp minor Nocturne, Opus 27, number 1. Now, this is, sometimes I hear this, and it always drives me a little bit bananas to hear the pianist change the pedal when the singer comes in. It's a little bit like, you know, laying out your red carpet, and then just as the singer's about to step onto the stage, pulling the rug out from under them. Listen to it. I'm going to demonstrate it. I would not suggest anybody ever do this. Did you hear that moment of very unpleasant loss of resonance? Just a quick word about pedal technique. When we're pedaling, you can't see my foot, but my heel is on the ground and stays on the ground. I'm pedaling with the ball of my foot, which again stays in contact with the pedal. I don't want to lose contact with my pedal, otherwise we get noises like that. Or if I decide to put my foot by the side, I might risk not finding it in time. So that's just basic pedal technique. Let me give you a couple of examples of direct pedal. From the end of the Rondo Capriccioso of Mendelssohn, a series of chords which need a touch of pedal. In direct pedaling, the pedal goes down with the hand and up with the hand. So down, up together, down, up. Did you see what happened there? Down, up, down, up. Now if I didn't do that, if I didn't use any pedal, I just get something that's very dry and nobody would think to play that way. So the pedal enhances the sound, it adds resonance. Now let's just wind up this demonstration with the Chopin B minor waltz, which happens to be on the ABRSM grade 8 syllabus at the moment. Chopin used this type of pedaling, direct, staccato or rhythmic pedaling, where the hand goes down with, the foot goes down with the hand and comes up with the hand. Legato pedaling wasn't in general use until the last part of the 19th century. So often when we look at Chopin's pedal marks, it looks a little confusing because the star sign that tells us to release the pedal is at the end of the previous harmony. Let me just show you what that sounds like. Now I can't resist changing it here. What I'm doing, I'm not sure whether you noticed what I did there, because I was sort of talking over the top. But when we come to this place, the music changes. There's all this beautiful sighing and sobbing in the right hand, and I can't resist having longer pedals for that. But because I've had longer pedals, maybe here I would have shorter pedals. So just to wrap up, I would suggest if you're practicing a waltz accompaniment like this, to practice it in 3 different ways. One is down, up, down, up, down, up. And the other one is down, up, down, up. Down. So you get the idea? Finally, we haven't talked about legato pedaling. I'm about to do that, but let me just show you with a legato pedal. Change, change. And in performance, I find I'm using a mixture of those 3 types of pedal. So join me again soon and I'll show you legato pedaling.